Welcome back to Fast Money. The Bitcoin bloodbath continues with the cryptocurrency dipping below 8,000 earlier today, and that had Bitcoin investors doing this. Actual footage, by the way. In the midst of the mass hysteria you see there, it wasn't just Bitcoin getting bashed. At one point, the global cryptocurrency market lost over $100 billion in just 24 hours leading into this morning. Bitcoin may have lost a whopping $40 billion in market cap this week, but during that time, Ripple has tanked 30%, lost $15 billion in market cap, while Ethereum and Litecoin also fell 13 and 26%. They lost 13 and $3 billion in market cap, respectively. Now, all eyes are now on one event happening next week. Our very own BK will tell us what that is and why you should be watching. Time for another crypto class with Beeks.
Yeah, so let's do it. I mean, next week we've got a big event here in the U.S. We've talked a lot about the regulatory pressures that have come from South Korea and from China and other places, but we've got something coming up in the U.S. that I think could be a big event for us. So on February 6th, the Senate Banking Committee is having a meeting, and they're going to be talking about what the regulatory oversight role of the SEC and the CFTC should be when it comes to cryptocurrencies and virtual currencies. So it actually could, the bullish part of this is it could give some regulatory clarity. One of the biggest problems we've had in this market is institutional investors don't know where exactly they stand regulatory-wise. What can they do? What can't they do? Because no one agency has really said this is our domain, and there's not one overarching regulatory scheme. So this could be a green light for institutional investors. Once you get that regulatory clarity and we can start to think about what's going on here, and in particular, when you've seen the regulations trying to stamp out Bitcoin in other places, here in the U.S. could be a Bitcoin hub. So let's just take a look at the chart real quick and what we're looking at. Talked about that big drop today. Here's what's interesting. Look at that breakout point back in November. Dan Nathan, he's going to be on the show right after this. He talked to me about that earlier this week. We went right down to about 7,900 this morning. So really interesting technical point coupled with a catalyst next week, to me, is probably a pretty interesting risk-reward to start nibbling at Bitcoin here.
Hey, Brian, do you think institutions, though, are waiting for a regulatory kind of green light, or do you think they're waiting for something else? In other words, for more platforms, for the froth to come out of this? Because you get the sense that they should have what they need here to feel comfortable.
They're getting more comfortable. When I say institutions, so you have family office and hedge funds getting into it, but perhaps more the asset allocators, the bigger ones, have not yet to get into it. So that's what I'm thinking on the green light scenario.
I'll tell you something you already know. Crypto isn't all about sunshine and Lambos. It's a very mean and volatile place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep on hodling, how much you can buy and keep on hodling. That's how winning is done. Now, if you want to go sell, go ahead and panic sell. But you gotta be willing to hodl the dips and not point fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of this ICO or that ICO or anything. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.